I will continue the poetry for this evening. You can tell by the way I use my walk, I am a woman's man, no time to talk. Music loud, women warm. I've been kicked around since I was born. Whether you're a mother or whether you're a brother, you're staying alive. Staying alive. Feel the city breaking, everybody shaking. Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. I get low and I get high. And when I can't get either, I really try. I've got the wings of heaven on my shoes. I'm a dancing man. I just can't lose. But that's all right. It's okay. I live to see another day. And whether you're a mother and whether you're a brother, you're staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive. Life going nowhere. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Staying alive. Thank you.
We're now serving act number 9. Will acts 10 and 11 please step back to stage? Introducing Linda Allen.
A little bit. I like that. Thank you. For the past, okay, thank you. For about the past 7 years, I've been involved with the Threshold Choir movement, and these are choirs that are formed to sing at the bedside of people who are seriously ill or dying, and we have 2 of them that I started in Bellingham, and I've been quite passionate about this work. I've loved it. And if you want to know more about if there's a Threshold Choir in your area, just go to thresholdchoir.org on the net, and you'll learn a lot about this work that I feel so passionate about. And this is a song that I wrote for our choirs. So please join me. You'll see it's pretty repetitive. Follow the light, holy light, follow the light home. Follow the light, holy light, follow the light home. Follow the song, follow the song. Holy song, follow the song home. Follow the song, holy song, follow the song home. Follow the love, follow the love. Follow the love, holy love, follow the love home. Follow the peace, home. Follow the heart. Follow the heart. Holy heart. Follow the heart home. Follow the heart. Holy heart. Follow the heart home. Follow the light. Follow the light, holy light, follow the light home. Follow the light, holy light, follow the light home.
Introducing Kanta Luthra.
Hello, namaste. What I'm going to read is not as sweet as Lee's ice cream. It might leave a bitter, kind of sour taste, so I'm sorry for that. It's called Nightmare Partition 1947, when India was divided. Last night, I dreamed again. I was just a rag doll, torn limb by limb by God-fearing men, and dumped in a crimson bloody river, eddying with putrid dead men, women, children, bees, bloating like giant helium balloons, oblivious to cacophony of crows and kites, leisurely, peeking, gouging, nibbling delicate eyeballs, tongues, intestines of the dead. I dreamed of masked men hacking infants limb to limb, tossing their bloody bodies into cauldrons of boiling oil. And I dreamed I'm a young girl again, futilely trying to cover my shame with bleeding hands, eyes wild with terror, pleading for mercy. But the mob roars with maniacal laughter, with jabs, thrusts, and pokes of spears and daggers. They shout, "Kill, kill, kill," in name of Allah, which means God in the Persian or Urdu. In name of Allah, cleanse the earth, kill the infidel, and cleanse the earth of the kafirs, which means non-believers. When shall it all cease and there will be peace?
Old King Cole, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, America. Under the mountains and the plants and the little animals, under the ground in Wyoming and Montana, under the Powder River are mountains of treasure. It's black coal. And I can get it because the BLM gives it to me for almost nothing. It's wonderful.
But King Cole, aren't you a little concerned about the coal? I mean, it's somewhat dangerous, you know. And what is it doing to beautiful Wyoming and Montana?
Well, anyway, also, America is really wonderful. And also in America is the wonderful watershed of the Columbia River, which is low, running between the mountains, and we're able to move the coal on railroad lines. It's a wonderful thing. All I have to do is dig the coal out of the ground, get rid of all the extra stuff on top, and load up the trains and move the coal through the Columbia River Gorge. It's wonderful. Thank you, America.
Oh. But, Mr. Cole, King Cole, I'm sorry, aren't you concerned about what's in the coal? I mean, there's lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, and it's all flying off the train as it's going down the track into the Columbia River and up into the gorge.
Yes, those are problems, and we're quite concerned about those. But really, we get the coal and we move it up the Columbia River Gorge, and we can make these mountains of coal, these huge piles at our terminals. And sometimes we'll load the coal onto barges, and sometimes we'll move them from train to train, and then make more mountains of coal. It's just beautiful. And when you look at that coal, you're looking at money.
I understand that you can make a lot of money, but what about the people? You know, you have to have 4 diesel engines on those trains, and that diesel is causing these poor children who have asthma to be much worse. And what about the workers at the terminals? There's just a few workers, but they have to be working in that coal dust. What is it doing to them and their families?
Well, that could be a problem, yes, I agree. But then we have this mountain of coal, and it's so beautiful to see, and then we can load it onto giant boats and run it across the ocean. It's great, and people are waiting for it in India and China and other countries, whatever countries are over there, and they just love this coal.
Now,
we're getting to the best part, though. We're getting to the best part.
Now, King Cole, you know about the problem in Peking, China. Haven't you heard? They can't hardly breathe over there. They can't see. Sometimes they can't even fly airplanes in them. I mean, it's not a good idea to fly planes anyway, but they can't get them in. And it's like to breathe there, it's like smoking 3 packs of cigarettes every day, each person. Now, don't you feel guilty about what you're doing to people? Isn't there something else you could do with this money that you have? You seem to have a lot of money.
These are real problems, and of course, I'm thinking about them. Thinking. Yes, these are problems. But wait, once I deliver all this mountain of coal to them, they give me mountains of money. This is the most wonderful thing in the world. I mean, what is there to live for after all?
Yeah. Well, this is a very short term. You need to look long term. Hasn't your financial analyst told you to look for the long way, the long term investments? And I think coal is very short term. China wants to get off of coal. We're out of coal. And I know that the governor of Oregon doesn't want you there, and neither do the people. Wouldn't you like to be loved again? You know, if you could move that money into renewables, that's where the long-term investment is. Yeah, you could make wind turbines. You could make solar panels. People would love you, King Cole. People wouldn't be harassing you. I think it's time to change.
Oh, I don't know. So that's a big sacrifice, I think.
What do you think? Are you considering this?
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure. I think we need to give him a little more time, maybe a half an hour or so, and then we'll talk to him again.
Oh, yes, we'll talk very soon. Yes, we'll talk.
And introducing Keith Fredrickson's, he's playing the ukulele.
Thank you. Hello. I'm going to play a song by Paul Tinker, who you may know from Tom. Tom plays this song a lot, so you probably know it, and you can sing along on the chorus. Paul Tinker went to Evergreen State College even before I did, and that was about 25 years ago. And I've cherished this song ever since then. It's given me great inspiration for riding my bicycle. I ride my bike, don't drive no car. I'm here to there like a shooting star. Burn no petroleum, I guzzle no gas. I get to laugh at the bumps I pass on the many hills of Big Bend Boulevard. A few I've known, a few I have known. From Rock Hill Road to hilly High Del Mar. My home I call my home, I call my home. Big Bend, a narrower street. Shady trees kept it out of the heat. Now it's wider than a parking lot, and in the summer it stays pretty hot. On the many hills of Big Bend Boulevard, of Big Bend Boulevard. A few I've known, a few I've known, a few I have known. From Rock Hill Road, from Rock Hill Road to Hilly High Del, to Hilly High Del Mar. My home I call, my home I call, I call my home, I call my home. Down in the university, there's a stretch that's still real pretty, shaded over by a couple score of U-City's pretty sycamore. On the many hills of Big Bend Boulevard, a few I've known, a few I have known. From Rock Hill Road to Hilly High Del Mar, my home I call my home, I call my home. Now they're talking about chopping the trees, so all the guzzle gassers won't have to squeeze. Why do we have to make the streets all wider? Look at all the cars with just one rider. On the many hills of Big Bend Boulevard, a few I've known, a few I have known. From Rock Hill Road to Hilly High Del Mar, my home I call my home, I call my home. So if the cost of gas is raising your ire, get out your clunker and pump up the tire. Push the pedals, watch the two wheels turn. If nothing else, you're sure to learn that there are many hills on Big Bend Boulevard. A few I've known, a few I have known. From Rock Hill Road to Hilly High Del Mar, my home I call my home, I call my home. My home I call my home, I call my home. Thank you.
Next up, it's the Steve and Mark Show.
Hey, wait a second. Didn't we do this one? Wait a minute. Wait, we did this last year.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Well, you got another one?
I've got a Christmas song.
Let's hear it. Try it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Barb Powers.
I was introduced to the music of Buffy Sainte-Marie probably about 1967, 68, and this particular piece just sort of stirred me. And I would never, never, never attempt to sing a Buffy Sainte-Marie song. I could never do it justice, but I will attempt to present it in my interpretation of a song that she sang as a response to a time when she was asked to comment on the state of affairs of the Native American communities in this country of ours. Buffy Sainte-Marie is Canadian American Cree. I am not Native American, and I would never, and I hope I would not do injustice to the work that she's done. Okay. Now that your big eyes are finally opened, now that you're wondering, how must they feel, meaning them that you chase across America's movie screens, now that you're wondering, how can it be real that the ones you've called colorful, noble, and proud in your school propaganda, they starve in their splendor? You've asked for my comment. I simply will render. My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Now that the longhouses reek superstition, you force us to send our toddlers away to your schools, where they're taught to despise their traditions, forbid them their languages, then further say that American history really began when Columbus set sail out of Europe, and stress that the nation of leeches that's conquered this land are the biggest and bravest and boldest and best. But where in your history books is a tale of the genocide basic to this country's birth, of the preachers who lied, how the Bill of Rights failed, how a nation of patriots returned to their earth? And where will it tell of the Liberty Bell as it rang with a thud over tinsel and mud in the brave Uncle Sam in Alaska this year? My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Hear how the bargain was made for the West, with her shivering children in 0 degrees. Blankets for your land, so the treaties attest. Well, now blankets for land is a bargain indeed. And the blankets were those Uncle Sam had collected from smallpox disease, dying soldiers that day. And the tribes were wiped out, and the history books censored. 100 years of your statesmen have felt it's better this way. Yet a few of the conquered have somehow survived. Their blood runs the redder, though genes have been paled, from the Grand Canyon caverns to Craven's sad hills. The wounded, the losers, the robbed sing their tale, from Los Angeles County to upstate New York. The white nation fattens while others grow lean. Oh, the tricked and evicted, they know what I mean. My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Now that the pride of the sires, the past it just crumbled, the future just threatens. Our lifeblood caught up in your chemical tanks. And now here you come, Bill, a sail in your hands, and surprise in your eyes that we're lacking in thanks for the blessings of civilization you brought us, the lessons you've taught us, the ruin you've wrought us. Oh, see what our trust in America's brought us. My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying. Now that the pride of the sires receives charity, now that we're harmless and safe behind laws, now that my life's to be known as your heritage, now that even the graves have been robbed, now that my own chosen way is a novelty, hands on our hearts, we salute you, your victory, choke on your blue, white, and scarlet hypocrisy, pitying the blindness that you've never seen, that the eagles of war, whose wings lent you glory, they were never no more than carrion crows, pushed the wrens from their nests, stole their eggs, changed the story. The mockingbird sings it. It's all that she knows. Ah, what can I do? Cry a powerless few, with a lump in your throat and a tear in your eye. Can't you see how their poverty's profiting you? My country, 'tis of thy people you're dying.
If you don't know the kind of person I am, and I don't know the kind of person you are, a pattern that others made may prevail in the world, and following the wrong God home, we may miss our star. For there's many a small betrayal in the mind, a shrug that lets the fragile sequence break, sending with shouts the horrible errors of childhood, storming out to play through the broken dike. And as elephants parade, holding each elephant's tail, but if one wanders, the circus won't find the park. I call it cruel, and maybe the root of all cruelty, to know what occurs, but not recognize the fact. And so I appeal to a voice, to something shadowy, a remote, important region in all who talk. Though we could fool each other, we should consider, lest the parade of our mutual life get lost in the dark. For it is important that awake people be awake, or a breaking line may discourage them back to sleep. The signals we give, yes, no, or maybe, should be clear. The darkness around us is deep.